Yo, what's up? Beau Allen here. Excited to talk to you guys for another Butter Breakdowns. This week we're going to talk about the Houston Texans and one of my favorite teammates of all time, DeMeco Ryans. So, been super excited to watch DeMeco as the head coach for the Texans. Excited to see his success as a defensive coordinator in San Francisco, and honestly, I haven't seen a ton of his games with the Texans so far. So, I'm excited for the fact that he's doing all right. They got a big win over the Saints. They won 20-13, which brings their record 3-3. They're second in the AFC South. But I want to talk about the Texans' defense, particularly their pass rush, because they had 40 total pressures generated. They did a really good job of kind of rushing with four and getting some good pressures with their D-line, their D-line is very deep. And I'm excited kind of show you some of these clips. But then they also brought pressure at some key times as well with some zero blitzes and things like that. The Texans ranked 24th with 24% blitz rate, so they don't blitz as much, but they do bring the heat situationally. I think it's been really effective. So, just quick overview on DeMeco's scheme. They're a 4-3 cover 3 system, kind of a gap penetrating 4-3 defense. And like I said, I think they have a really, really deep defensive line. They got pressure from a ton of different guys here in this game. So excited to talk about that, and let's show you the clips, show you who played well and why. So I talked about the Texans defensive line and how I think they're really deep. I also think they're kind of a somewhat unheralded crew. But one guy that played really well is their rookie defensive end, Will Anderson. He's number 51 right here. I'm kind of going to show this first clip because he had a really good game. He had eight pressures, but a lot of really good rushes and a lot of good hits on Derek Carr. So here he is right here. He's a left defensive end. He's working on Ryan Ramczyk, who's a really good right tackle out of my alumni, my school, University of Wisconsin. Go Badgers. Anyway, really good rush here out of Will Anderson. It's 1st and 10. This is in the first quarter, so kind of set the tone early. What I like about this is, so you'll see it's just 1st and 10. You don't really know what exactly you're going to get. You see the Saints bring the tight end over. They swap the front. They're just playing over. But I love this stance. He's got his arm back. I feel like he's got some sort of pass rush indicator. I'm not sure what exactly that is here, but look at this. I love this arm, this track stance. It's like, the Bosa's. It looks like Nick Bosa, who DeMeco coached in San Francisco, is a great player. But just watch. I love here how it's a 1st and 10 rush, and you get an overset from Ryan Ramczyk. Will Anderson takes the inside, does a really good job of getting a hit on Carr. I really like how sudden he is, how violent he is, and he commits to it. He's able to get skinny through this gap and go in and get a big hit on Derek Carr right in the first quarter. Like I said, the Texans had 40 pressures and did a really good job of harassing Carr all game. So, yeah, like I said here, just really good feel and good explosiveness. He gets 2 feet in the ground really fast. Nice get off. He feels Ramczyk come out to him and cover him up on this 1st and 10 look. Love how he takes his inside arm here and knocks down Ramczyk's left hand, which is an inside hand, and then just takes that inside move. That's just a really good feel and a good clean rush. I think if I have one small bone to pick with this, with this rep, when you're a 3 technique, and you're Kurt Hinish here, and you feel Will Anderson kind of take that inside move, just turn this into a natural ET is called. But like I said, really good rush from Will Anderson here and a nice hit on Derek Carr, kind of get the game rolling. I like his celebration too, just a classic fist pump. So this one I really want to talk about briefly is Trevor Penning has struggled a little bit in pass pro, so he actually was benched a little bit, and James Hurst started the game, and then James Hurst got injured. So left tackle Trevor Penning is in here. But I want to talk about Jerry Hughes on this rush. Number 55, he's a really, really good edge rusher. I kind of paused this here, but see how he's the first one out of his stance? This is a really nice get off. But this is a little bit of a mismatch. Trevor Penning has struggled. He's in here because of an injury. Jerry Hughes, a really good edge rusher. I'm going to roll the clip and show you what I like about it, and how he takes advantage of some of Trevor Penning's struggles in pass pro. Like I said, though, first of all, I love this get off from Jerry Hughes. He had a good game. He had 5 total pressures. He's a really good edge rusher, and he's still got a lot of juice in the tank. But I'll roll this clip and show you why I like this edge rush. Really clean job, just running the hump. You could tell Derek Carr is, he knows that the left tackle position is a little bit of an issue for them because of how fast he bails from this pocket. But really good job by Jerry Hughes just getting off, getting off, running the edge, and you look how fast, like he's only 3 steps in the ground, but Trevor Penning's hips are already turned, and then watch this little bucket step he takes with his left foot right here, which just shortens the corner for Jerry Hughes, who's able to just keep running the edge, running the hoop. We work on that shit every day in D-lineman's practice, and then essentially just get the quarterback off of his spot. So all that means, you talk about that a lot, you want to get the quarterback off his spot, which means this is where quarterbacks are comfortable, right? In the middle of the pocket, you see how comfortable Derek Carr is surveying the field here. And then he feels that pressure coming from the left side, from his left tackle spot. He's got to bail from the pocket and just, throw the ball away. So really good, clean rush. Like I said, Jerry Hughes, 5 pressures, a lot of pressures all over from different Texans D linemen. And it's just a good, it's a good group. I kind of said this, but like they don't have any blue chip guys. Like, in San Francisco, DeMeco Ryans had Bosa and all these, Fred Warner, all these really talented guys in their front defensive front 7. And the Texans are getting it done without names like that. So speaking of, let's talk about number 94, Khalil Davis. He was in Tampa Bay for a little bit. Nebraska guy. He had a good game as well. He had 4 pressures. This is a really, really nice rush out of him here. What's going to end up happening here is you're going to spike the 3-tech, blitz this linebacker here, and then what that means is on this side, you're just away from the blitz, so you can't take an inside move. You need to hammer and keep the quarterback contained in the pocket. And then also just an edge rush here from Jonathan Greenard. Let me show you guys why what I like about this clip, what I like from 94 Khalil Davis, who had a good game, a very good game. So one of the reasons, too, is you see he's such a wide 3 technique. That's because he knows his blitz is coming, on this side here. So you want to widen out so you can, when you're these 2 guys, you can basically just keep the quarterback contained in the pocket. You do not have the ability, like one of the things you cannot do here is take an inside move, because that'll make a huge B gap that the quarterback can escape through. So you're a little bit, you don't really have a lot of options as a 3-tech away from the blitz. You just need a edge rush, and it's a really, really good move here. I'll show you what I like. So Khalil Davis, nice little get-offs, kind of feeling him out. Gets a nice long arm into Cesar Ruiz's chest here. This is a strong player. He's a big phone booth guy, but he does a really good job of getting this arm right in the, in his breast. He does a really good job of getting his arm right in the breastplate here. And then more importantly, once he feels his hip open, like you see how open the right guard's hip is here with his back foot, he takes it away, does a really good job bringing that right arm back over violently to clear his other hand, and then turning the corner here at the top, flipping his hips. That's whenever you can get your outside toe pointed back at the quarterback, that's a good thing as a rusher. So you see that, and then he gets a big hit on Carr. And then I'm going to run this back. I think that was ruled an incomplete pass. But one other thing I want to talk about here is I talked about Penning, the left tackle, young left tackle for the Saints. I think they need to get a little bit more out of him. Not a great rep from him here, working on number 52, Jonathan Greenard. Sets out to him. Nice violent hands from, the end here. Throws that rip in there and then goes a spin. He ends up holding him here. You see that. You just need better offensive line play at that left tackle position. Hopefully he can work through some of these early season struggles. Okay, here's another guy. Like I said, the Texans are getting pressure from a lot of different areas. The guy I want to talk about here, Sheldon Rankins. He actually used to play for the Saints, so he's pretty familiar with all these O-linemen. I love Sheldon Rankins. I think he's a very violent player, an explosive rusher. Here he is as a 3 technique. The Saints are on Houston 16. They're approaching the red zone. The Saints did not get enough done offensively in the red zone. They had 3 red zone trips with 0 touchdowns, 0 field goals, and this game ended up being like 20-13. So definitely need more out of that. Pretty low-scoring game. But let's talk about Sheldon Rankins here, big number 98. He played another good game. He had 3 pressures and a sack. Let's watch this sack here. It's a really, really, really nice fucking rush. Here he is as a wide 3 technique, working on Cesar Ruiz, who I talked about. First of all, let's check his get-off. Really nice get-off. Check it out. The ball is just getting to the quarterback's hands. He's almost got this foot in the ground. I love that. So this is what we call a cross chop. I've talked about in these breakdowns before. See how explosive he is with it? He brings that right arm through as he's kind of jumping. This is a great edge rush out of a 3 technique. The cross chop is a sexy move, and this is why. He throws that cross chop, and then you see how it kind of gets Cesar Ruiz's feet stuck in the mud here a little bit. I'm going to run this back, or let me just play the whole clip so you can enjoy it. Great job finishing at the quarterback for a sack. Really, really nice. Let's run it through one more time without all the stoppages. Boom. Nice cross chop. Way to accelerate his feet back. I think that's my favorite thing about this, like just the athleticism. So he throws this cross chop. He gets kind of, Cesar Ruiz goes to punch him. He gets punched out just a little bit into that tackle. But watch how fast he turns on his feet right here. Boom, 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 boom. And then goes get that sack. That's fucking nice. One thing I was watching for a while is like I was trying to figure out if, I talked a little bit about a natural ET earlier, that first rep that I broke down. I think maybe the right guard here thinks that this is going to end up being a TE game, which is kind of why he punches him out and hesitates a little bit. But regardless, just a really nice outside move from Sheldon Rankins. Really good cross chop. Way to accelerate his feet back up and finish the play. Obviously the big sack, and the Saints settled for a field goal on this drive, but really, really nice play from him. He had a solid day with 3 pressures and a sack. All right, let me talk about this last clip. So mentioned earlier, the Saints are having some issues at O-line, an injury to James Hurst, so they brought Trevor Penning back in. Cesar Ruiz here, remember he was playing right guard on the previous clip. Unfortunately, Ryan Ramczyk got injured, who was the right tackle, so they had to bring in Nick Salvaderi right here to play right guard, and then they bumped their right guard Ruiz out to right tackle. When you're Will Anderson here, you kind of like to see that because these right guards are not used to all this space. So that's kind of who we're going to watch here. Mentioned him earlier, Will Anderson, rookie, had a really good game with 8 pressures. Here's a really nice rush from him. Let's check it out. So I think what I like about this is, like, first of all, this is a speed guy, okay? Look at his stance. He's yoked up in his stance. He's got that arm back like I talked about. He knows that this is a right guard. He's not used to playing right tackle, so he widens his alignment way out. You see how wide he is here? He's almost in Taysom Hill's lap, who's a flex tight end. I just like how he get-offs, he runs his track, and then he knows, like, that, this dude is not going to be as comfortable with this deep set point that right tackles need to take. And so when he gets to the contact point, great get off. He gets to the contact point. He brings his power and kind of catches him. It's hard to see here, but I think, Ruiz has his left foot off the ground. So really, really nice power at the contact point. And then he just throws him by, with this right arm, just he's so off balance. And then really good, just a good job from Anderson here. And then just a half a step too late here, but definitely, pressures Carr into getting rid of this ball early, just checks it down to Kamara. This is just a really nice rush, a really good field rush. I've been impressed with Anderson's ability to kind of rush, what he's given from the offensive line and not, hitting these moves that are kind of pre-planned. So that's what I like here out of Anderson. Just a really, really good job getting off, getting to his attack point, the set point where you make contact, being physical at the, at that point right here, throwing the guard by and getting a good pressure. It's a really nice rush. Overall, lots and lots of positives from the Texans defensively. Really happy with their performance. 40 pressures, big win against the Saints. And, like I said, I'm really impressed with their depth. Like, I'll just read this off real quick. 51 Anderson, 8 pressures. Jonathan Grenard, number 52, 6 pressures and a sack. Jerry Hughes, who I mentioned earlier, 5 pressures. Dylan Horton, number 92, 2 pressures. D-tackle Malik Collins, 5 pressures and a sack. D-tackle number 98, Sheldon Rankins, 3 pressures and a sack. We showed that clip earlier. D-tackle number 94, Khalil Davis, 4 pressures. So, this unit doesn't have a lot of blue-chip, big-name, highly-paid guys, that D'Amico had in San Francisco, guys like Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead. But they have a collection of really solid rushers that are really competing well, playing really well, and really affecting quarterbacks on their way to, good defensive performances and good wins. So thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys. Butter breakdowns. It's always fun to watch good defensive line play, especially when it's guys that guys I know and have played against and, who are now coaching. So check it out. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know who you want me to break down next. Appreciate it.